put this inside of hi. Oh, I am pooped today. I quite am. Oy. I just saw a video on TikTok of some people who snuck a speaker onto the roller coaster at Disneyland, and they were playing that Sexy Red song. Oh my god, what is it called? It's on the tip of my... Like, I know it, but I'm, like, blanking on it. It's like, ski, and see what's up. That one. And they played it on the roller coaster. I just want to say, with that loop, impressive. Oh, man. Because I be holding on to my chonies with dear life, let alone anything else. Alright. Day 7. 1 week. We did it. 1 whole week. We got 1 more whole week. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. I am excited for it. It's just this week was probably just the worst week ever that I could have started something like this. But you know what? We are working through the challenges. We got this. I'm also just not feeling that great also. So, okay. 7. Day 7. The Way We Love Here by Donielle Clayton. Yeah. Okay. The people who live on the Isle of Meridian are born with red strings collided with copper wire around their ring fingers. I should call it a string. Hold on 1 second. Oh, sorry guys, I extremely needed to blow my nose just now. Anyways, the people who live on the Isle of Meridian are born with red strings collided with copper wire around their ring fingers. I shouldn't call it a string, or red even. It's more like a tattoo that mixes with your skin tone and turns all shades of brown and black and white and everything in between. The coils look a little like wedding rings, stacked one on top of the other. Mama would make me I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get embarrassed about, like, blowing my nose or anything like that. I am part of when people would shame you into going outside of the classroom to blow your nose because people were just like, ah, you know what I mean? I'm like, anyways, okay. So, it's more like a tattoo that, okay, the coils look a little like wedding rings stacked one on top of the other. Mama would make me write 50 lines for saying that again. Trivializing the work of God's Vio will land you straight at the bottom of the sea with the rest of the sinners. But when I was younger, I just thought it was a clever birthmark. An accident of sorts. But everyone who lives on the island has one. It marks us as belonging to this place. This is how we find love here. I cover my face with my hand, then let my fingers open slowly to invite the rising moonlight to creep between them. Sometimes when the lighting hits just right, the red coils scatter across my finger like a constellation of stars. A love blueprint. Papa used to always say, I bury 3 mason jars in the sand Nestled inside the glass are flickering candles. They surround me like little fires. At the Saturday markets, They surround me like little fires. At the Saturday markets, I sell them alongside my watercolors and Mama's produce. Then I flatten my back against the sand, and the fine grains embed themselves into my tight curls. The waves tickle my feet as I wait for whatever the moon can show me. This is my nightly routine before Mama starts buzzing so loud about night chores that I can't think anymore. Guests from the island will come soon as the warm season begins and the islanders stop working. The inns on the leeward side of Meridian will fill. The rest of the vacationers must venture over as the strings of happiness inn. They won't be happy, but they'll be here in our squeaky beds with our mismatched plates, listening to the wind. Mama will be glad to be busy again. I'm sorry, I just want to wipe my nose. Okay. Ew, I sound disgusting. I'm sorry. Anyways. The rest of the vacationers must be ventured over to us at the Strings of Happiness Inn. They won't be happy, but they'll be here in our squeaky beds with our mismatched plates, listening to the wind. Mama will be glad to be busy again. I squint up at the moon. I let my fingers find its light again. Some say that if you look hard enough, the coils will briefly take the shape of the one you're supposed to end up with. A pair of eyes, the outline of a face, the glimpse of a smile, that God's etched this person's face in the ink that circles our fingers. Sorry, I got scared of sneezing on camera. Oh my god, okay. I try to see something, anything. I want to be prepared. My sister cried when she met her beloved. She just turned 19. Whoa. Her eyes puffed up for weeks, and her honey brown skin held a flush that turned quickly into bruises. She wasn't ready. She didn't want the coils to disappear from her finger. She wanted to stay with Mama and run the inn forever. Without Papa there to help, she knew it'd quickly fall into despair because I wasn't as good as she was at knowing what needed to be done. But her love showed up, and now she's gone to the leeward side. We won't see her and her new husband again until the snow comes. I listen to the waves now, and for Papa, wondering if the gods told him who I'd fall in love with, if they told the dead those sorts of things about the living. I want to know how much time I have. I don't like surprises. Papa, you there? Papa, right after Papa drowned, I used to sit here and wait for him to wash up with a seashell, his broad shoulders and the tall frame and the big hands spit out by the ocean, but he never came back. The ocean never released him, though sometimes at night I think I can hear him calling me to join him out at sea. Do you know anything? There's no answer. I never really given a thought to boys or girls or falling in love with them. I've watched couples check into the inn and hold hands as they climb our rickety staircase, or took strolls on the beach, or kiss at the dining room table. I've wondered what love feels like. Another person's hand in yours, another person's mouth pressed to yours, another person who has permission to touch you. Mama said people are like streams. When you meet your beloved, you become a single river flowing in one direction. Currents, waves, ripples, indistinguishable from one another. That's a really cool way of looking at it, honestly. I like that. I don't know if I want that. The thought of having to lose myself in another, shape myself around the form of someone else, makes my heart beat too fast. And not the good, excited way. I mean, like, I think I feel the same way about relationships, but that phrase did not make me nervous, I believe. I think, if anything, it reassured me of the sense that, like, other people see it as, like, you kind of have to have, like, you eventually flow with each other, you know what I mean? I think there is this look that, like, people force themselves with each other, and where that is can be true, and usually a lot of times is true. I don't think that's always true, you know? So, yeah, like, the idea of you both kind of, like, flowing, because if you think, like, a steady flowing stream is, you know, nice and calm, and like that's awesome. Like that's great. That's a great analogy for like peace in your relationship, you know what I mean? I don't think I would have heard that, like, as someone who also thinks that way, I don't think I would have heard that and said, and would have thought like, oh, I'm like giving up myself kind of thing. But I do understand where they're coming from by saying that. Okay. We love so early here, and yeah, that's the whole thing, is that it may sound like, right, it sounds all nice and everything, but like with their experience of living in this place, they mean it more of like you're intertwining each other, like you become each other kind of thing, right? Other than it just being like you two are two streams that are just kind of flowing into each other to make one big river or whatever, right? Thought of having to lose myself, and I don't know, see, that's my whole thing, is like, she's saying the thought of having to lose myself and another shape myself around the form of someone else makes my heart beat fast. I, like, again, I think I take analogies like so literally that, like, because they specifically said the currents, the waves, the ripple, or the where does it say? Said people are like streams. When you meet your beloved, you become a single river flowing in one direction. That makes sense. And in my head, again, because I take things very literally, both streams have their benefits that like create the benefits of the river, that like create the ecosystem that's within the river, that create the steady flow of that river, right? That singular river or whatever that she's talking about. So like that's why I'm like, I get the fear that you mean, and like what like based on the experiences that you have there and like the people around you and everything. But because I take them so literally, I would have just been like, you know what? Yeah, you are right, because we both benefit each other from our individual streams. Like, my stream has these minerals, your stream has these bacterias, and we can create this whole ecosystem in this one river now. Like, that's how I kind of think of it, right? Anyways. We love so early, and it feels like there isn't enough time to do all the things I want to do before I have to do the things I'm I'm sorry. My throat's just been really dry. And it feels like there isn't enough time to do all the things I want to do before I have to do the things I'm supposed to do. I get that. I raised my hand again. I have 5 coils left. I started with 10, and when I only have 1 left, that's when I'll find my love. Sometimes I wish they'd come back, signaling that the gods had changed their minds and maybe they'd skipped over me. I don't think I'd mind. I was wiping my nose, I'm sorry. I don't think I'd mind that. I'd gladly sleep in my window nook forever, letting the sun warm my legs, or find a way to leave this island so I can paint a different sunset and sunrise. They say there's nothing beyond our island, but I have to believe there's more. That there's a world where coils don't exist, where coils don't exist, where I get to choose my own love, or not to love at all. I watch the sea, anticipating hearing Mama's voice soon, calling out from the wraparound porch, beckoning me to come back inside and help. The waves bop up and down and crash forward into the sand as the tide comes in. A shoe washes up, then a jacket. I stand and walk closer to the water. My heart begins to beat faster. Something is out there. I can feel it. Another wave crashes down, and then the tide washes up something heavy. It's a boy. Crazy. Wild. This is like some Little Mermaid shit. That's crazy. For a moment, surprise holds me in place, but then another wave races in and licks at his legs. The spell is broken. I run over and drag... Wait, what? The spell is broken. Wave races in and licks at his legs. The spell is broken. I run over and drag him farther out of the water. His black hair is too long, Mama would say, and the wind catches it, slapping it across his face. He's slender and long, all gangly arms and legs, and 2 large hands and feet. His arms and legs are covered in bruises like he's just survived a fist fight. I practically press my hands on his chest and push the water out. Nothing happens. The bones of his ribs feel thin and fragile. I keep pushing down, praying to the gods of him to awaken, until finally he jerks upright. The water comes out of his mouth and sputters and coughs. He rolls over into a wet ball. I scramble backward. His eyes pop open and find me, and they're lovely. The kind that curve in the corners like they've been frozen in a perpetual smile. He's very paintable. I'm gonna be so honest. With Little Mermaid being one of my favorite Disney princesses, okay? I just don't see the whole, like, oh, right? When they were, like, looking at each other, like even this. They're saying that he coughed up all of this water and everything. You looked at that after he's like, after that, and you were like, oh my god, his ojos. Like, I don't get it. No, sorry. I'm very practical when it comes to romance, and I need some actual goosebump shit. You know what I mean? This is yeah. No thanks. Okay. He's very paintable. Who are you? I ask. Who are you? He says through a series of coughs. His white cotton shirt clings to his chest like it's part of his too pale skin. He doesn't have the usual color of a Meridian person. He hasn't been kissed by the sun gods. I'm not the one who almost drowned. I didn't see. He props himself up on his elbow and then keels over again in another fit of coughs. His face pinkens. I'm all better now, he says, out of breath. I should call for help. No, don't, please. He pulls himself up into a seated position. I don't do doctor. Sir, do you do death? Like, I'm confused. I frown at him and hope he can see it. Where are you from? Hold on. Where are you from? I wonder for the briefest second if he's from out here from whatever lies beyond. But then he lifts his left hand. His ring finger glows like a stick of fire. He belongs to Meridian. He smiles up at me, and it's a nice one. I hate to admit. I heard that if you stayed underwater for 3 minutes, you'd be able to see who you'll end up with. Did you? I count the coils on his finger. 5. Like me. It means that there's a chance he could be one of my matches. People with the same number of coils are potential... Oh, okay, I see. With the number of coils are potential mates. And when the tattoo fades to one final ring, it creates a unique pattern that is identical to your beloved's. A queasiness settles into my stomach. He shrugs. I didn't last long enough. I'm not a strong swimmer. I hold in a laugh, but it bursts out. Then it was probably a bad idea to try that technique. Yeah, no kidding, right? Where did I go? And what are you doing here? He asks. I live here. In the sand? I don't allow his comment to make me smile. My family owns the inn on the side, and it's private property. My mother says there's nothing in this world that's really private, and you can't own land. The gods didn't intend for us to divide it up like the food on a plate. He beams with pride, like what he's just said is the cleverest thing in the whole world. He stands and stretches out his long and lanky limbs. They make popping man. My knees. That is my knees. They make popping noises. He starts coughing again. You should go to the hospital. It won't help. Aren't we all like 2 steps from death anyway? I mean, no, I reply. He plops down next to me, bruises his feet in the sand, or buries his feet in the sand. You're trying to see, aren't you? I heard the thing about the moon, too. Maybe I should have chose that one instead of almost drowning. Yes, I say. You probably should have. I'm Sebastian Hyung. He says with a head nod. The name lands. Wait, aren't you? Yes, I'm the person who tried to leave this island in my Aerobird flying machine, with the papers wrongingly called a makeshift plane. But there's nothing out there. I repeated the words I struggle so often to believe, the words Mama wants to sink into my skin and down into my bones to quiet all the questions I ask. How do you know? People have tried to sail away only to have to turn around because they couldn't find any other land. But you don't know for certain. Maybe people haven't sailed far enough. Maybe they give up too soon, and another world is just a little farther ahead. He eyes me. You probably shouldn't wish for things that aren't there, I say, and cringe a little because I sound like Mama. What's your name again? I'm Viola. But everyone calls me Vio. Or Vio. Or Viola. Yeah. Nice to meet you. A silence stretches between us as the waves crash in. We don't get the casual wandering visitor. I want to know why he's here on our beach. I want to know what else he's done to find out who his true love is. I want to know why he wants to leave the island. I never met anyone else with the same curiosity as me. The island is small enough to know most people, but big enough to be missed if you want to. And Mama always wanted us missed out here on this side. She taught me and my sisters to read and write and didn't bother sending us to the schools because she thought we'd be ostracized like she was. She said the rest of them would find us when it was time for love. I thought I saw a pair of eyelashes, he says. They could have belonged to anyone or anything, even a cat. The gods wouldn't pair you with an animal. I doubt I'd be that bad. I doubt it'd be that bad. He shows me his finger. Can I see yours? I lift my hand to allow him to inspect it. Looks like you're close too, he says. We could be soulmates. I scrunch my nose at him. Probably not, I say, even though I'm not sure. Maybe the ocean puts us together. Maybe the water gods knew what? I could have washed up farther down shore. It's this, I wiggle my ring finger at him, that pulls people together. I want to add that I don't know if I even believe in fate or these coils or love itself. I think of Mama and Papa and how they seemed smashed together like two strong rocks placed too close to each other when they desperately want nothing but ocean between them. I can still hear their fights when I close my eyes. It's the reason I first started coming out to the beach at night. Watching the two of them felt like the gods had made a mistake. How had the strings linked two people so wrong for each other? But I'm hoping the gods skip me, I say. Maybe they'll leave me be. A life without love is impossible. I finish the line. We've been taught since birth. We both laugh. Want to come into the water with me and give it another try? Sebastian asks. Do you have a death wish? My mother thinks so, and the doctors, she's always threatening me with how long I might have left if I don't take better care of myself. I bite my lip to keep from being nosy and asking what's wrong with him. Why don't we try something equally dangerous as swimming when you can't? Like what? I rub my hands together. We'd have to touch, hold hands. I've never held hands with anyone outside of Mama, my sister, and Papa. The elders of Meridian say that this type of intimacy is reserved for blood relatives and beloveds. They warn us about the dangers that could happen. Falling in love with the wrong person, ending up alone, altering the will of the gods, confusing the senses, and losing your fingers? What? Like you're gonna chop my finger off? Ew, why? Oh, why am I doing that? Sorry. And losing our fingers. The newspapers print cautionary tales about young teens who disregard the warning. They make sure to include their sad pictures. I've never done it. Then again, I've never had a boy with whom to try. You mean ensnaring? Yes, if you let the strings touch, you call them strings. He hitches a dark eyebrow up at me. Strings, coils, what do you call them? Love marks? How romantic. It's what my mother calls it. It's what my mother calls it, he says, and then looks back down at my hand. The moonlight silvers his black hair. Ensnaring is forbidden, you know. I know. And you could lose your mark permanently, he reminds me. Are you afraid? I don't care if I lose mine. I'd actually be glad to be rid of it. No. I've heard that ensnaring isn't even true. Ensnaring isn't even true. A myth to keep teens from kissing and doing stuff. Stuff? Yeah, you know. I know, I say even though I don't. Other people say it unlocks nexus points mapped out by the gods. You can see possible futures for you and the person you connect with. I'd heard that too from eavesdropping on my sister when she'd have friends over. She was the type of person who people gravitated to despite not setting a foot in school on the island. Every girl and boy her age seemed to just know her. The pretty girl from the market, Carolina. This boy is the first one I've exchanged more than a few words with. But which future will be true, I ask. I don't know, he says. Possibly all, possibly none. There's no fun in knowing exactly how it will all turn out, right? I guess not. I stretch out my left hand closer to him. So no harm in giving it a try then? He finally reaches out to meet it. His palm is callous but soft in the middle. My stomach lifts with the flutter, like I'm a little girl again. And Mama is pushing me on the old swing set behind the inn. We twirl our fingers together, carefully not to let the ring fingers touch just yet. His eyes remain fixed on our hands. I watch how his forehead crinkles with concentration, and he bites his bottom lip. He has lovely cheekbones, and with sun could be even more handsome. You ready? I ask. He nods. We flatten our left palms together, then let our ring fingers touch. They flush with redness, the blood racing just under the surface. The strings become super red hot. The burning sensation makes my eyes water. Heat and swelling rush in. I almost pull my hand back. The sky turns cloud white, as if every single shade of night has been leached out. The beach beneath us dissolves grain by grain, shell by shell, wave by wave. My ears pop, and I suck in a deep breath. It feels like being dunked underwater and held there. The thump of a heartbeat thunders in my ears. We swirl inside a kaleidoscope. Okay. I know the leeward side of the island by scent and sound. The pollen of the larkspur flowers, the chittering pink birds that cluster in the horsetail trees, the hum of crickets and cicadas, the scent of fried sweetbread. My sandals slip and slide across petals under my feet. A bright noon sun presses down on me. I blink until my surroundings sharpen. Sebastian's warm hand holds mine. You okay? I ask him. I think. Am I still handsome? Hardly, I reply. He still looks the same as he did before we ensnared. Did they mean hold hands? Is that what ensnared is? Which is cute. If I must admit it, his hair might be a touch longer, but I can't tell how far we've gone into the future, or if this is really the future at all. Where are we? The high school, I think. He replies. I've never been to the school before. I've ridden past it with Mama as we made our way to the leeward markets to sell her hothouse tomatoes and buttery squash, and the fresh oysters Papa used to dive for. The once bustling lane headed into town are quiet. No trams, no bicycles, no pedestrians. The storefronts display closed signs and have their curtains drawn. Why here, I wonder? Let's go in and find out. Sebastian leads the way forward. His pull is strong and assertive. Wait, I yank him back. We don't know why we are here, or how to make this stop. you wanted to see, right? This is seeing. If we turn back, we won't know anything more than we did before. I need to know, and I need to know. His eyes shine with anticipation. I gaze up at the school's white limestone roof and matching shutters. Is this a version of our future? A place without people? Is this how the gods interpreted my desire to be left alone? Sebastian takes a tentative step forward. He looks back at me with eager eyes. I exhale and join him. We cross through the doors and into the foyer. Big picture windows offer views of the turquoise sea. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I just was remembering something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Where was I at? We crossed the doors. We crossed through the doors. We crossed the doors into the foyer. Big picture windows offer views of the turquoise sea. Glass display cases hold trophies and plaques boasting student accomplishments. Lockers flank us. Classrooms hold desks and chairs. Bookshelves. A banner is draped overhead, congratulating graduates, seniors. I'd be one next year if I went to school. But maybe this version means that Mama will let me go for 1 year, and I will be able to take a real art class. 3 hallways are roped off. The only one open is labeled Senior Way. We step into it. Look, he says, pointing out. What? The wall. We gaze up, and it's covered in superlatives? In superlatives? Students nominated as best dressed, funniest, smartest, most likely to succeed. It's us. I search the many portraits and find my face and Sebastian staring down at me under the label worst breakup. Damn. Hold on one sec. Okay. Sebastian laughs. I guess we didn't make it. Do you think this is real? Do you think we actually dated? I asked. It's so far from my reality that I can't even imagine it. Seems like it. Otherwise, why would we be here? I feel his eyes. His gaze is hot, heavy, and curious. Have you ever had a boyfriend before? He asks. No. Have you? No. He laughs a little, then grins. But why haven't you? You're beautiful enough, I suppose. Damn. What do you mean? What does suppose mean? What is that supposed to mean? I blush. Is that supposed to be a compliment? I'm not very good at those, I guess. I make a terrible boyfriend. Yeah, it sounds like it. Have you ever had a girlfriend? I asked. A few. I purse my lips the way Mama does when she smells a lie. Well, a few in my head, he adds. I've kissed 3 girls. I found that they aren't into pale boys who miss school and make strange strange contraptions. He turns his arm around, or maybe it's just the bruises. I nod, for lack of anything better to say. My mother thinks I won't be around long enough to meet my love, and the gods doomed my future soulmate to a life without love. What's wrong with you? I ask without looking directly at him. Mama would fuss at me for my frankness. They don't know. I've just always been sick. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I say, but it feels like the wrong thing. He frowns. Ugh, you don't have to say that. And please don't look at me like that. He shrugs. I knew you'd get all weepy in the eyes. We've got this kind that holds on to tears. We've got the kind that hold on to tears. You've got the kind that hold on to tears. What is wrong with me? Oh my god. I do not, I protest. This is why I usually don't tell people. Fine, I won't pity you. I won't even be nice. Well, if you wanted to kiss me out of pity, I wouldn't say no. That's so funny. I laugh, and heat rises from my neck and my cheeks like I've spent too much time wandering the beach or picking vegetables in Mama's garden. Do you want to be kissed? He asks. His words dig under my skin, tickling me and warming me from the inside out. I don't know. You shouldn't die without experiencing it at least once. If that is that so? Amen. Is that so? I ask. And you going to be the one who helps me? Only if you want. And I have the time right now. Normally. I'm quite busy and important. Can't you see? These are... My bad. Oh my god. This is a rough read right now. This is it's not rough, like this is a good story. I'm having a rough time right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, let me just go back to the beginning. You shouldn't die without experiencing it at least once. Is that so? I ask. And are you going to be the one who helps me? Only if you want. And I have the time right now. Normally, I'm quite busy and important. Can't you see? There are girls and a few boys lined up wanting and wishing that they'd have the opportunity to kiss me. There should be a superlative. There should be a superlative called most kissable, and there you'd find me. My eyes wander to his mouth. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh my. Okay, let's do this. Where was I at? My eyes wander to his mouth. The pink of his lips remind me of the inside of the conch shells Papa would bring back from the sea for my sister and me. If I were to paint them, I'd use the sunset peach and a little ruby red and cream white. I've been told I'm a great kiss. I press my lips to his, push the words back inside. His mouth is soft and tastes like he's been eating cherries. Didn't he just come out of the ocean? Like he's been eating cherries. The thudding noise returns. Sebastian and I tugged forward like rag dolls. The walls of the high school disintegrate into white ash around us as everything goes dark. The noise of chattering voices fills my ears. A cool, hard surface materializes beneath my feet. I blink and my surroundings come into view. I'm in front of a floor-to-ceiling window that looks out on a city, or at least I think it's what they call a city. Nothing on Meridian compares. I stumble backward, then find my footing and lean forward. I press my cheek against the glass. Tall buildings reach for a dusky orange skyline. The melody of honking bicycle chimes and the opening and closing of doors drifts up from the streets. Bright lights. Oh, I thought my thing was going up. Weird. Bright lights click on as the sun sinks behind behemoths of glass and iron. I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. My once curly hair is straight and flows over my shoulder. Makeup rouges my cheeks. Glasses sit on my nose, and I've lost the deep brown color I have always had. My skin is a paler shade of brown. Where am I, Sebastian? I whip around to face a crowd. People buzz around, holding champagne flutes and tiny plates filled with food. Huge watercolor paintings covered the walls and hanging from the ceiling on clear strings. A woman waves at me. Perfecto, she calls out and blows me a kiss. I can't wait to buy another piece. Another man rushes up to me and takes both my hands in his. I flinch. He smiles and does a little bow. I'm sorry, I just get so excited when I see you, he says. A Parisian gallery called just now. They asked to carry 2 of your paintings. Isn't that sensational? You're a worldwide phenomenon. A godsend. No 25-year-old has ever done what you have. So much youth, so much success. Your watercolors will be hung in every household rich enough to afford them. Where am I? What's happening? He pats my shoulder. God damn it! Shut it! Sorry. He pats my shoulder. All the excitement getting to you? I'll go get you. Go get your very cute husband. Ethan, I say, the name suddenly coming to me. Yes, Ethan. He eyes me suspiciously. I lift my left hand. The coils have been replaced with the wedding band, and a glittering diamond ring the size of a swollen cherry. Viola Young, over here for a picture, someone shouts. A camera flashes. I put my hand up to avoid it. Viola Young. My new last name rolls over my tongue. A handsome young man strides up to me. He is all blonde hair, milky white skin, and green eyes. My future husband. He sweeps a warm hand around my waist. It feels familiar and comforting. The memory of him lying somewhere deep inside me. The mayor's here, and even he wants to buy one of your pieces. I let him sweep me forward, but look over my shoulder, searching the crowd for Sebastian. The room thickens with people. They pay me compliments and wish me well. My heart trips over its own rhythm. This is exactly what I want to be an artist, to be away from Meridian, to know that there are other places in the world outside our island, to paint other sunsets. A young man with a dark hair grins at me and waves. Sebastian, or a future version of him. Excuse me just a moment, I say to Ethan. He kisses my forehead and turns to one of my many admirers. I duck left and right through the crowds. People stop me along the way to offer cheers and kiss on my cheek. Cheers and a kiss on my cheek. When I finally reach him, I'm exhausted. Sebastian! I almost collapse on him. Where are we? Your very successful future, it seems. He smiles at me. Okay, I would have been so nervous that he was going to be like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, he smiles at me. A silver streak courses through his hair. I touch it. I guess I go gray early, he remarks. But you're here, so we left the island, he says with a hopeful look on his face. Something else is out there, and I knew it. I always did. Are you still? I hate to ask or utter the word sick, though only 4 letters and very tiny, so very big. He lifts the cane in his right hand. I may be, but I feel okay, if that makes sense. I nod, even though I'm not sure. Are you married? He gazed down at his left hand. It appears not. I still have my love mark. His eyes hold a sadness. Do you wish we didn't do this? I ask. No, not at all. He takes my right hand. It's so cool to get off the island, to see your success. This would be an amazing future. One that includes you, it seems. So I guess we stay friends after all this. And I make it to 25, he says, then turns around in a circle. I grab his left hand, and the world goes dark. We're just flip-flopping all over the place. His ears fill with a faint beeping noise. It starts light, like the patter of a leaky faucet, only to sharpen into deep, bleeding pierces as the world around me settles. The walls hold nothing but whiteness, and a lone window that shows the pink coral sand on the leeward side of Meridian. Seagulls dive in and out of the water. Storm clouds linger in the distance. threatening to stamp out the sun and bring torrential downpours. My hand twitches. I look down and find a hospital bed and a sleeping Sebastian in it. I jostle him. Sebastian. He doesn't answer. Sebastian. His eyes don't even flutter. The door opened. A squat-looking nurse trundles in with a tray. Her light brown cheeks are rosy and kissed with a flush. Oh, dearie, you're still here? She cocks her head to the side. You've got to be tired, Miss Huang. Miss Huang. I look down at our hands. There's a pair of wedding rings on both of our fingers. What's wrong with him? I ask. She looks at me. Is this about to be that if they end up together, he'll die soon, but if they don't end up together, he'll live? I'm irritated. Okay. I hope that's not it. Anyways. What's wrong with him? I ask. She looks at me like I've just told her I was from a different planet. You must need rest. When's the last time you slept? You've been at his side for so long now. He'd want you to sleep. Where are we? She inches closer to me. Her face scrunches with confusion. The Meridian homegoing house, of course. My heart flutters with panic, and my pulse starts to race. What is this place? A convalescence home, dearie. You checked him in a week ago. She pours me a cup of water. Have a sip. Lack of sleep and hydration can cause confusion. I gladly gulp it down. Its coolness rushes through me. Isn't he too young to die? No, none of us know when our time is up. The gods gave us one gift, to know when our loves would come, the best part of life. It would be greedy to ask for more. The best part she touches her soft palm to my forehead. No fever, but you've gone all pale and clammy, like you've seen a spirit. She scoots a chair up for me to sit in. You know, you can let his hand go. He still has some time left. Will he wake? She nods as she checks his vitals, then gazes down at our hands. I know things seem bleak right now, but look, she points down. You're one of the lucky ones. Your string is coming back. The ink is rising underneath your skin once more. You've gotten a second love by the gods. I lift my wedding band and find the faint lines of another string just beneath it. Can he still be saved? I ask. Only the gods know that. I mean, if you're getting a new band, it sounds like no. It sounds like no, he's not going to survive, because why would they give you a new love if your love is dying? You know what I mean? If your love is like alive, right? Okay. Only the gods know that. She retrieves a small pillow from the armoire and hands it to me. She pats my head. I'll be back in a bit. You rest. My eyelids get heavy. I climb into bed with him. I've never slept beside anyone before other than my mama or my sister, but curling up next to his frail form feels familiar, normal, muscle memory, like we've done it hundreds of times. My breathing falls in line with his, soft and deep. I wonder how old we are. We are now. Sebastian has a few wrinkles in the corner of his eyes, though those could be due to his pale skin and the sun instead of years past. I hold the wish of years in my chest. I close my eyes and fall into a deep into a dream of images. Sebastian running along the shoreline behind my side of the island. A little girl with his black hair and my skin color nipping at his heels. A tear slides down my cheek. You're not crying on me, are you? A scratchy voice says. You said you didn't have weepy eyes. I lied. I clamped my eyes shut, afraid to open them and see him like this. He traces a finger over my face. Let me see them, even if they're full of tears. I open them slowly, and the tears drop. He catches them with the pad of his thumb. Do you regret in snoring with me? He asks. Do you? Do you? He has a fit of coughs. I squeeze his hand until they stop. I swam on the beach behind your inn because I wanted to drown and get it over with. Waiting on it seemed like it had to be worse than the actual thing. But then I heard you. I came to the surface. I saw you set out your candles and the mess of your hair. I listened to you talk to yourself. I blush. I went back under instead to see if... Okay. To see if love was a possibility for me. I had the tattoo. The rings had faded one by one. Maybe the gods did have someone in store for me. Maybe I wouldn't run out of time. Well, you had time and love, I whisper. He forces a painted smile. I did. We did. And you will have it again. He takes my hand and inches my wedding band back up. This could be a lie, I remind him. Or it could be true. Either way, it seems we make a decent couple. And I make an excellent husband. And we do all the stuff. You've got a kid, since we've got a kid and all. I laugh until it turns to hiccups and more tears. Man, I hate hiccuping. Kiss me, he whispers, and I do. The room fades to black. The bed under us disappears. His heart slows to a stop. If this shit's gonna make me cry, I'm gonna be so upset. The water rushes under me. It's cool and salty, waking my limbs. I sit up. My hair is a tangle of sand and water and frizz. The moon winks down at me. Sebastian, I holler. I hear his hearty laughter just a few feet away. I race over to him. You okay? I say. He looks me over once. Never better. You're not afraid of what we just did? Of what we just saw? I'm not afraid of anything, he adds with an infuriating smile. You saw your death. I saw that I lived. We will all die at some time, and I have time, despite what all the doctors and specialists have told me my whole life. He sits up and reaches for me. I inch closer. He smooths back my tangles of curls, and I let him without hesitation. There's a future where you get everything you wanted, he says. I close my eyes, and I think back to what I've seen. The possibility that I get to go to school, that I get to leave the island, that I get to be an artist and paint other sunsets. I wonder which, if any, of the visions are real possibilities, real paths, real futures. I want them all to be true. But what about you? I ask. Don't you turn into the others and start worrying? Don't you turn into the others and start worrying? You've got that look in your eyes. I don't, he chuckles. It feels like we've had this argument before, and we'll have it many times again. There are so many directions for things to go in. Just knowing that made me feel. Just knowing that made me feel. His voice quavers. A door slams shut, and a shadow stretches along the beach. Viola! My name cuts through the wind. And just what do you think you're going to do out here? And just what do you think you're doing out here? And with the strange boy, Mama storms towards us. Her hands are crossed against her chest, and her freckly brown cheeks hold an angry color. I've been calling out to you for close to an hour. Do you know what time it is? The wind catches her scent and wraps it all around me. She's made fresh honey biscuits and brand new lavender soap for the inn's bathroom. I gaze to the left at Sebastian. He looks terrified. I burst with laughter. I don't think anything. I just said it's funny. I don't think anything. I just said it's funny, Mama barks. Oh, I don't think anything I just said is funny, Mama barks. No, ma'am, I say, trying to stop the hiccuping laughs from bubbling up and out. This boy drowned, and I saved him. She did, he says, grinning at me. She clucks her tongue. This is private property, you know. You aren't supposed to be out here, let alone swimming. I'm really sorry, he replies, ducking his head in the type of shame that appeases Mama. Do your parents even know where you are? She says. I suppose not, he admits. They must be worried sick. You come on up to our inn and phone them, you hear? She sweeps him forward, and Viola, you've got double chores tonight. I need the salt bags brought in. The room on the 4th floor needs fresh linens. The dogs haven't been bathed or walked. We pad through the sand, each step sinking us a little farther in. Maybe I can help, Sebastian offers, and I hope this means he might stick around for a little while, even if it means he might not be here forever. I've seen 3 versions of my future tonight. I know deep down that all will end in sadness for us, but for the first time, it doesn't scare me that my life could also include love. By the look of you, boy, you couldn't lift a feather. When's the last time you ate? I'm stronger than I look. I smile. That he is. I liked it. That was really cute. I really liked that one. Like, I know I didn't react a lot to that one, but it's because it wasn't necessarily like cringy or funny. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this story. This one was a really good one. I know I had some trouble getting through the beginning and everything just because of my ness and stuff, but that one was really cute. I really liked that one. I'm really excited for tomorrow's because this is the thing for it. Benito Ball Day. But all right, that one was awesome. See you guys tomorrow. I'm probably gonna do it a lot earlier, so